Hey, Jaz Seiden here. So this week I want to share a term that I was just introduced to by Lisa Cervenka, and the term is Freudenfreude. I was much more familiar with Schadenfreude, which means taking joy in other people's pain. And Freudenfreude is the opposite, taking or finding joy in their joy. And I just thought this was a remarkable concept. Like it made intuitive sense to me. I got a hashtag more joy for this video series, so it shouldn't be surprising that it resonated. But what I loved about it was it gave me a place to go. So I've long struggled with Schadenfreude. I don't like it. I'm the guy who starts pacing when watching TV, reality TV, where people are being awful to each other. I can't take it. But I didn't have any place to evolve to. And Freudenfreude gives me something that I can fill that space with. Now, I've been trying to fill that space for a long time. In fact, when Lisa mentioned this term, which she read in Brené Brown's new book, Atlas of the Heart, highly recommend it. And Brené, if you're watching, you deserve every penny you get from this book. Like, holy crap, it is phenomenal. If all you do is put a little more Freudenfreude into the world, it will be more than worth it. But as soon as Lisa mentioned the term and described it, I could name people from my life who I've always felt exhibited this. Leslie, a friend of mine from childhood, Matt Gainsley from college, Amanda Hite, Scott Stratten, Lisa, my daughter, Jaz. I mean, right off the top of my head, I knew who they were because these are people who I think about when I find myself exhibiting envy or resentment. I'll kind of imagine like, all right, well, how do I feel like, what would Matt say in this scenario? And I picture what he might say, and then I replay those words in my own voice, which is always a bit of a struggle. And I ask myself, like, what needs to shift here? What needs to change in my heart and my soul in order to be able to say the things that I imagine that Matt would say and that I think would make the situation go better? So I've kind of been on this journey, but having the word for it helped me fill a gap, right? Like that's a slow process. Emulating people like that and doing it on your own, it's taken a lifetime and it's been slow going. And so, kind of as far as I was able to get on my own was saying, I don't like Schadenfreude. I won't engage in that. But what do I do instead? And now I have a word for it, which I feel like makes it much more actionable. And, and the nice thing was recognizing I'm not at ground zero with this, that there are things I do which are very aligned with Freudenfreude. I love when people are at their best. I love celebrating other people's wins. I love when good guys win, good people. And I'll share in another video coming up, I have a deep connection. There's one moment in my life that connects me deeply to this notion of Freudenfreude, because I think it saved my life. But for right now, just as a first step, I just wanted to share, I heard the term, it was introduced to me. I think it is a phenomenal concept. I think it's far more powerful than people probably realize. It's magnetic for sure. It makes people charismatic and attractive, but more than that, it puts goodness and joy into the world at a far higher level than you could ever achieve with Schadenfreude. Schadenfreude, yep, you can get a little catharsis, you get a little barb in there, it makes you happy for a moment, but it's fleeting and then it's gone. Freudenfreude can change the trajectory of your life. And that's not bullshit, like that's been my experience. So more on that in the future, but for right now, I was excited to hear this term. I think it's gonna help me accelerate my personal journey. And so I wanted to share it with you too. I'm Jason, I love you. I'll see you next week.